and it's great form. So then next, come on up. And then next what I'll have you do is to fix that pelvic rotation. If somebody's getting more of a slide or just not rotating enough. So what I'm going to have you do is we'll face the camera for this one. You're going to put the club across the top of your chest and then cross your arms in front like that. You're going to put one leg up behind the other. Okay? And then you're just going to turn your hips without moving your shoulders. Yep. But don't just flare your leg out. You want to feel like you're rotating your hips. Good.
Like that?
Yep. Without moving your shoulders, though. There you go. So sometimes what I'll have people do is hold on to something first to get the motion.
That's tough.
Yeah, and then go ahead and try your other leg. Good. And again, you're just looking for that pure hip rotation. Good. All right, and next what we're going to do is we're going to work on the trunk rotation without the hip rotation. So I'm going to have you get onto one leg, put your arms across your chest, and then without moving your hips, you're going to turn your shoulders. Good. Yep. And with this one, standing on one leg, it kind of limits the amount that you can rotate your hips. And then I'd have you do it on both legs. Excellent. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do the deep squat correction. I have Diane's heels lifted up so that it takes the calf muscles out of it. So if you have a calf inflexibility, when you try to go down to a deep squat, it'll limit you and it'll push you forward. So that's why we have her heels up. So what I'm going to have her do is grab the weight. And you're going to put the weight out in front of you straight. You're going to go down into that deep squat, but way down. Leave the weight on the chair. Then you're going to stand up out of that squat. Deep squat is number one in the golf swing because it's a dynamic test. It tests a lot of different areas of the body. And if you have a deep squat restriction, it will limit your ability to maintain your golf position throughout the golf swing. So you'll either come out of your golf position as you go into your backswing, or as you go into your backswing, when you come down to go into the ball, you'll extend into it. So that's why it's very important to be able to perform a deep squat. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to work on hamstring flexibility, which Diane, as we saw earlier, doesn't need any help with, but some people out there might. So what we do is we put your toes up on a couple of towels or a phone book at home, and what that does is helps to maintain stability and also adds to your hip location and your hip stability. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this towel, put it between the knees. Diane's going to squeeze the towel with her knees, and what that does is it activates the muscles in the hips that help to stabilize. A lot of times some people can't touch their toes. It's not because your hamstrings are tight, it's because your hips aren't stable. So what we do is we put the towel between there, and then I'm going to have Diane come down, go for her toes, maybe kiss her knees or something like that, and then come on back up, hands overhead, and then back down towards the toes. So you do about 10-15 repetitions with that, holding it for a couple seconds each time. And just make sure you're squeezing the towel the whole time and keeping those knees straight. Now we're still working on the hamstring flexibility, but if you see, we've raised Diane's heels versus her toes. So this one's really going to get after the hamstrings, whereas the other one helps with hamstrings and calf. So we're going to, again, put the towel between her knees. She's going to squeeze, and then down she goes. And if you're doing this at home, always do the other one first because it'll help to warm up your body a little bit. And also, if you do this one first and you're not ready, you might fall on your face, which is not good. And again, about 10-15 repetitions. Good. Next, we're going to work on the shoulder external rotation. So what Diane's going to do is she's going to start with one weight at her hip and the other weight up in the externally rotated position, and then she's going to switch back and forth. Good. And what you want to do is you want to really focus on rotating back rather than just bringing your arm out, and bring that weight to your hip, not to your stomach. Good. And what this is important for is in the golf swing, when you come into your backswing, you need a lot of external rotation to get the club into proper position. And also on the follow through, you again need a lot of external rotation to finish that motion. And any limit in shoulder external rotation can cause both injury and a loss of position throughout the golf swing. And next we're going to work on balance. So I'm going to have Diane stand on one leg, And then come forward into a golf position. Arms across the chest. Then you're just going to hold that position for about 30 seconds. And balance is very important because you need to be able to have balance in your feet to maintain your position throughout the golf swing.